We've all seen them, properties that are a haven for crime, a nuisance to the neighborhood. State law says they can be shut down for violations involving drugs, prostitution, or abuse of alcohol. But at the urging of police and prosecutors, state lawmakers are considering adding the words violent acts to the nuisance law. NBC4's Ted Hart is live at the State House tonight to tell us about that. Ted?
Well, Colleen, police see it all the time, whether it's bars or nightclubs, drug houses, where neighbors are frequently calling in to complain about fights or worse, shootings that are occurring there. But shutting down those problem properties can be a real struggle for police. State lawmakers want to change that. To say Club LaRue on Carl Road was a nuisance is an understatement. Police were called there 45 times in less than 3 months last year for shootings, fights, and sexual assaults. But it wasn't until after they had evidence of underage sale of alcohol that the city was as a nuisance under state law.
So even undercover guys can't always get inside certain places when they're invitation only, and you have to know the guy and that kind of thing. And it makes it very tough.
There are 2 bills being considered, one in the House and one in the Senate, that would add acts of violence to the nuisance law. State Representative David Leland is one of the sponsors.
I mean, we're talking about a pattern of violence. We're not talking about an incident here or an incident there. We're talking about places where this stuff happens a lot.
And a place that is having a negative impact on the community.
They were able to close these down, but it took years to do this.
Kenneth Gilbert is referring that were havens for drugs and prostitution, but also acts of violence. He says the lengthy process to gather evidence to shut them down took a toll on the neighborhood.
We lost, for example, the Quarter Horse Congress, and a number of other places won't send people to stay at the hotels that are there because they just simply weren't safe. People were having their cars broken into, losing a lot of business in our area that way.
And prosecutors say adding acts of violence or violent acts to the law will not change the due process for property owners. It'll simply allow the courts to begin considering violence when making nuisance determinations. Live at the State House, Ted Hart, NBC4.